Classes in session.
We're married!
Hey everybody, and welcome to Unlearn 16 Classes in Session. We're here with, the guy from Toy Story 3.
So cute.
He's making a special appearance. Catherine got it for him.
Wow, words.
Guys,
we're tired.
It's been a minute, but I wanted to come on here and recount as much as we possibly could while it's somewhat fresh in my brain.
But prior to the wedding, we had like 2 hours of sleep, maybe 3 hours of sleep the next day after that, and then only a couple hours of sleep again. Right now is when we're starting to actually catch up on our sleep.
Yeah.
So.
And if you hear that ridiculous noise, that's the washing machine, because Anna has to do laundry right away. She doesn't have a break. You don't have a scale down though.
I don't. The second I get home, I have to unpack. I have to make sure everything's in its place, and then...
guys, I don't even know where to start. Where do we start? Where do we begin?
I think we begin back in August.
Back in August?
Yeah. Like, tell the people how this happened.
Well, I think we gotta begin way before that, actually. I think I got when I went to the chateau.
I thought that was in August.
That was in May.
Well, go ahead.
All right. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna take you back to 2025, right? May 2025. I'm taking my grade 8s to Ottawa for their final kind of trip, their grade 8 graduation trip, okay? And we're gonna go stay at the Chateau Laurier. I love history and politics. I've made a few of them love it. I make the rest of them fake it. So I'm gonna take them there. That's what you do as a teacher. I'm gonna take them there and hopefully do something very, very cool with them. Now, when I reached out to the Chateau Laurier, don't worry, this has a point. When I reached out to the Chateau Laurier, I was put in contact with an individual named Catherine McLaughin. Now,
You want to know something funny about her name? McLaughlin is spelled like McLaughlin, and the entire time I thought it was Catherine McLaughlin, and I thought that was the best name, but it wasn't.
And
anyways, continue.
Catherine and I get on the phone, and I want to do something cool with the kids, right? Anyways, this individual got on the phone, and she'd watched a bit of my content. She thought that if I came there with the kids, she was going to do something cool. But I had no idea. And when I say Catherine took it upon herself to make this trip so incredible for these little humans, and give them history and a little bit of mystery and a little bit of behind the scenes tour and all of it. It was incredible. So they had a great time and they treated my kids so well. To be honest, it really blew me away. However, I'm going to speed up now. There's a point where we're getting a tour of the entire chateau, and we are in the biggest ballroom they have where they do events and weddings and things like that. Just stunning. Like beautiful. Kings and queens have walked in these halls. And as we're in this 350 person room, I make a joke to Catherine. Well, not even to Catherine, this is like the room. And I was just like, maybe Anna and I should get married here. And Catherine turns around. I've known her for like 37 seconds. And she goes, "You wanna?" And I'm like, well, no, I don't have 350 friends. She's like, no. We don't have to do it here. We can do it any way you want. And I was just like, I was just sort of, I didn't even think it was a real offer, to be honest. I was like, oh, that's sweet. Yeah, sure. And then our first meeting. And after our first meeting with Catherine, guys, it was all for sure. This woman, and we're going to brag about her this entire podcast, this woman
was on go mode since that day.
She's not even breaking right now. I swear, I had a conversation with her just now about something else we're going to do. She was on go, and when I say on go mode, what I mean is she wanted to figure out who to partner with, how to plan, what we wanted, how we wanted it, who are the best fits for us in the most authentic, beautiful way ever. You got to know that Anna was about ready just to go down to the Justice of the Peace and get married. Right?
Yeah,
City Hall.
I was never like a wedding girl. Like, I never sat there with like a book and
made
a vision board. Like, everybody, when they're little, they're like, oh, when I get married, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was never me. Like, I was totally fine with just going.
And for me, I'm like, I want something cool. I knew that I wanted something, you know, maybe that wasn't just going to the steps of City Hall, but I had no idea what. Again, no vision board over here. I couldn't tell you what a charging plate was until we had this wedding. All of those things, I didn't see a vision. I didn't. And so I didn't think that was going to be part and parcel of it. Sitting down with Catherine, she started us just slowly. It's like she did it slowly. Like, you know, you like scare a deer off. She didn't want to put it all onto our table at the same time. Because I think we would have been like, we got to go. This is way too much. Because at some points, I probably felt a little overwhelmed because a wedding is a lot, guys. For all of you thinking, oh, I'm going to have a wedding. Guys, it's an endurance sport. So I need you to stretch. I need you to, you know, and then I need you to get Catherine. Don't do it on your own. It's not okay, so we sat down. We're going to try to take you through every segment. Shall we do it that way?
Sure.
Okay, so I said to Anna, you want to get married at Chateau Laurier. What did you think, like, when I said, let's get married there?
Well, I just thought that it was a good idea, but I was kind of confused as to, like, why there.
Ottawa?
Because I also didn't know the story that she just had said, and I was like, what do you mean?
She was a little taken aback. I'm like, when I said it originally and I said Ottawa, and she's like, Joe, I am not getting married in that green room.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you thought.
Yeah. Because there were talks about, like, where we would get married or whatever, and then...
Musings. I don't know if they were talks.
And then Joe was like, no, how cool would it be if we would get married in...
in the House of Commons? In the House of Commons, or did you want the Senate?
I don't remember. You said something else, but I obviously don't even know the difference of the two places.
She said the green room.
You just said, so I was like, you want to get married in the green room? And she's like, what do you mean the green room? And I'm like, that green room where they all yell at each other? Like,
where they all yell at each other?
That's not happening. We are not doing that.
Okay, so nobody's getting married in the green room. Well, I would have gotten married in the green room, but nonetheless, so we were talking about where and how, and the first thing we decided, okay, and you guys are going to see videos of all of this, so we got married on January 1st.
Oh, my clothes are done.
Oh, it's so nice. Now it's singing a song. And Anna's going to stay and do this podcast, and you're going to notice her OCD, like, ratcheting up throughout the podcast, because she can't go deal with it right now. So, what was I saying?
The first meeting that we had was to decide the location.
Decide where. So we went and we saw all these rooms, okay? So the Chateau Laurier, they have gorgeous rooms. Like these huge, beautiful, like they remind me of Versailles in Paris, okay? Beautiful, all original. Whoa. I'm also going to say, Bruno, who also works at the Chateau Laurier, and the behind the scenes and what's authentic and what's historic and the conversations about the Winston Churchill painting that was stolen. All of that is what just kept winding me in. I'm just like, okay.
And Bruno has bees.
And Bruno takes care of bees. Bruno, incredible. So we were going to decide on the room. So we were going touring all the things. Now you got to know, Anna and I didn't want a big wedding, right? Anna, again, was ready to be like 5 people, City Hall, Bob's your uncle. And we started going room to room. So that big room held like 350, and we were looking at rooms that were like 200, and they're all different names. Don't ask me to recount them now. I don't remember. There was a blue room that was incredible pretty. Was that Adams? The Adams room? And there's also a room we took pictures in that we nicknamed the Vampire Diary room. Mm-hmm. And when you see our pictures, you're going to know exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. If you're going to do a photo shoot, you schedule a photo shoot.
That's like that's just like the front hall of that room. Because that's just like the hallway. It wasn't even a room. But anyway, still gorgeous.
Oh yeah, the Vampire Diary is kind of like the front of another room that people go into. Mm-hmm. So as we're looking at all these rooms, I go to the place that I liked the best from when I took my kids, which is the Governor General's entrance. This beautiful stairway that comes into this grand, beautiful, like vaulted Gothic ceilings. I'm probably using the wrong architectural term.
I was going to say, I don't think it's Gothic.
What do you think it is? Victorian?
No, like, you know the guy who painted the thing?
Michelangelo? Mm-hmm. You think there's an architectural style named Michelangelo?
I don't know.
You'll see the footage. but we're standing, so not in a room, and I'm standing in this
it's
space.
literally like just if you can think of a big holding space before
like a
hallway.
foyer that's right at the top of these stairs that comes, it's the Governor General's side entrance to the
like
thing.
it doesn't have four walls, like it's not,
it's all open,
closed, right? The stairs come up and this whole thing is open.
And I stood there and I'm like, this is gorgeous. This is it. And Catherine looks at us, she goes, well, no one's ever got married here before. And she's like, but you two are going to. And again, everything we loved and we were drawn to, she just figured out how to make it happen. Like the Chateau Laurier and the staff of the Chateau Laurier and everybody, Genevieve, am I saying that right?
Genevieve?
I'm not French. That's too much laughing.
Genevieve. Anyways, continue.
That's horrible. You know, we're married now, and she just laughs at me like that.
What do you mean now?
The people, the staff, the people that run the chateau, obviously Catherine is our person, but like, it was like every time she would go back, she's like, this is what we're going to do. And the fact that they were even willing to entertain the two of us with different ideas every 5 seconds, incredible. So we look there and Catherine goes, well, you're getting married here. And in that
she
moment,
said that's where we're having the ceremony.
The ceremony. Yeah. And so that was decided. Now, we have no idea spatially how it works. Nothing. We have no idea. I'm just like, I want to be standing here.
Yeah.
And then, so that kind of gets decided. And who's our first meeting with? Do you remember?
Hold on. No, because you're skipping a part. Because
Probably.
then, in the car on our way there, Joe and I had never talked about this because, again, it was never on my blimp, on my radar to do anything.
I'm sorry. Pause. Do you think it's blimp? Like that big, huge thing that goes over football games? No, it's a blip on my radar. Not blimp.
Anyways.
Not like blimp. Like what? A blimp on your radar is like the whole radar. A blip?
Anyways, so Joe and I had never even like talked about anything. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
And so we're in the car and we're like, should we maybe like get on the same page about what colors we like, anything? And I go, you know what? I really like the colors pink and gold together. And I said, I think that would be cute. And you go, I had another idea, but you know what? I like it. We'll go with that. I don't even know what your other idea was.
I don't remember having another idea.
But you did say, I thought of something else, but I also like your idea, so let's just go with that. And so I said, okay, cool. And then that night, after we had picked that space, the space, we went to go have dinner at Zoe's.
Yeah.
And at that time, I don't know if you want to say this part of the story or you want me to say it, but at that time is when we were talking about all the rooms that we had just been in, because now that we found a location for the ceremony, we needed a location for the reception. And then...
So they were talking about, are we going to move to a room for the reception?
Right. So all the rooms that we had seen throughout the day, the giant 300-person room, the whatever room. And then we get to Zoe's, and Zoe's had recently...
And I really don't like a round 8-person white table. I don't like it.
So, Zoe's had recently just gotten renovated to this different, like...
There's two parts of Zoe's, like a bar area of Zoe's that's like so like sort of cool and dimly lit and whatever. And then there's the back half of the restaurant of Zoe's, which is this... But
it had just gotten renovated.
It's a piece of art.
With different colors, and they had even changed all the plates and everything, like just refurbished, is that a word?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if that's the word I'm looking, refreshed, whatever. Anyways, everything was new in there, very recently done. And we look around and the plate comes and we're like,
it's the colors.
This is it. Like, this is the colors that we had just talked about. And so instead of choosing one of the rooms.
Well, at this point, I didn't even know this was an option.
Yeah,
but
and then
Anna said it to Catherine.
And then Catherine
says, there's never been a reception in Zoe's.
Yeah.
Let me make a call. Mm-hmm. And you got to know, when you guys see the pictures, it's like, it's just an authentic, beautiful restaurant that holds, 80, 85 max. And so we knew that that was kind of the number of our, it was going to be less actually, but kind of the number of who was going to be at our wedding. And
I think I just smudged all of my makeup on my eye. But look, this eye looks nice, and this is okay. Anyways,
we wanted to be able to do that, right? And
everything, like,
it was just perfect
to the T. We had just very briefly said golden pink, and then we arrived to that room, and everything in that room is golden pink.
And then Catherine's like, "Let me make a call." And so not only were we the first getting married at the top of the Governor General's entrance and in that open, beautiful area, we're going to be the first people to have our reception in Zoe. So we're going to close down that whole part of the restaurant. They're going to build a dance floor, the whole 9 yards. This beautiful bar that you can sit up, and just the whole thing's stunning. Yeah. And then I think the next thing we end up doing is food, right? Is that
no, we met with Micheal.
Micheal.
I love Micheal.
Oh, Micheal. Micheal, how do you say his last name?
Donovan.
I thought it was more French.
Donovan.
Is there no accent?
No, it's Donovan.
Okay. Micheal is a wedding planner for...
The wedding planner. Amazing wedding planner.
Not a wedding planner. The wedding planner for Wedecore. We're, by the way, all of these ats and all of these whatever, I'm going to put it all in the description. So if you guys are ever going to Ottawa in the surrounding area, you guys want any of these people, you're going to know exactly how to get in contact with them. We met with Micheal.
And it was a funny meeting because he's sitting there being like the wedding planner. And so he's got like a list of things.
He had a wedding book. We didn't have a wedding book.
And he goes, "Okay, tell me what's the plan." And we go, "I thought you had the plan." Like,
you're the plan. We look like Christmas.
We do.
We're like, "You're the plan." What do you mean we're the plan? And he's like, you could see he was kind of like, wow, I have two women sitting in front of me and neither one knows anything.
What is going on?
We like pink and gold. We picked where, and I think once he knew the reception was going to be in Zoe's and once he knew where it was going to be, he could kind of have an idea.
But it was so funny because he goes, "Well, like, are you flower people or are you candle people?" And we're like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean?
You have to be either or?
We had both at our wedding because we were like, both?
These like colors, and we kind of had the color in mind. And then we just started talking about what we thought, once he knew the space, what the space was going to be like. But I still didn't know. I just knew what I didn't want.
Yeah, but still in that moment, like nothing, we didn't even say anything because it wasn't until like our third meeting with him that we decided on stuff.
I knew I didn't like the idea of like an audience with white chairs all lined up in rows facing us. I knew I didn't want that. Whatever. I didn't know what else I wanted, but I knew I didn't like that. Again, it was like more like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Come up with something. What do we like, Micheal? But he was fantastic. And one of probably my most favorite parts is when we actually went to go pick specifically things, right?
So this was on a different trip, but...
Oh yeah, guys, we're going over... Again, we started the going there process in August. Okay, we had phone conversations before, and we went 3 times. And every time we went there, it was like we'd spend 2 days, and literally, we didn't sit down.
No, 8 a.m. to like 9 p.m.
Catherine had us booked. But we got to go to Wedecore's, like, what would you call it? Like their warehouse or whatever, because they have everything, right? So we got to go through all of these aisles and look at all of the plates and the silverware and the that huge flower room and just invitations,
everything.
Our invitations are gorgeous, guys. You are going to see the video of our invitation. You think I would care about an invitation? I never thought I would, but I really am tied. I'm drawn to it now. The cover is velvet pink. What? And I know what a charging plate is. And it was then that Micheal was like, I know how your seating's going to be. So instead of it being all, because this room, there's no front and back to this room, he's like, I want you in sort of a circular stage.
Like in the middle.
My wife loves a good stage, as do I. And I want love seats. I want chairs, love seats, upholstered, looks like a living room all around you.
He even had little like tables if people
Little
didn't have a
table-
seat
yeah.
where they could stand. And although I don't think anybody was standing, but
No, nobody stood.
Mhm.
But he had this whole vision plan. And by the way, just so everybody knows, we never saw anything until the moment, the day of our wedding.
Mhm.
That's the time
like
we
he
saw.
just sent like a markup of
Mock-up?
maybe a mock-up.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe
whatever
a
it's called,
mock-up.
of like just
Like a seating
plan.
chart-ish?
But from that, I could have never imagined what was actually there.
If
Never.
I could describe it to you, I would. It was the most beautiful,
So gorgeous.
the most intimate, the most, you felt like you were in somebody's home.
You felt like you were in a princess castle. I
Sure,
mean, we were.
that's somebody's home. Just an important person. It didn't feel sterile, is my point. And it was, because I find some weddings, it's like just, it's just like a lot of white and a lot of...
And also, like, the way that Michael was planning it with us, it was also funny.
So fun.
It wasn't
so
just
much
like,
fun.
well, what do you want? What do we do? And blah, blah, blah. It was just, like, Michael's so funny, too.
And we met Nancy of Wedecore, who was
Yeah.
also hysterical. One of the
Mhm.
most dry, sarcastic women that I absolutely adore. And again, when we talk about these people who do their job so incredibly well and to such a insane level, that impressed me. But what blew me away, and the reason I will talk their praises forever, was the authenticity and heart with which they did their jobs. They cared. I have never had strangers care more about how we felt, what we were going to do, how we wanted to express ourselves, learning about us so they could express it for us because we had no idea what road to go down. And it all starts sort of with that. I think it really started, well, it starts with Catherine, and then it starts with Wedecore, right?
Mhm.
So we picked out the plates, we picked out the silverware, we picked out that dog,
Sabrina!
picked out Sabrina. You're going to have to watch the video. I can't describe that. Okay, and who's the next? Oh, Chef David? Are we at Chef David? We got to be at Chef David. We got to pick the food.
I don't think we got to Chef David until quite a bit later.
Who was after Wedecore? Oh, Grey Loft.
Yep, our pictures.
Oh, guys. Grey Loft Studio. And the team that we met there,
Bethany and Luke.
Bethany and Luke, were incredible. And you got to know, it's not that I don't want to be on camera. It's not that I don't like a good picture. I'm not very good at taking direction.
You took direction when I told you what to do for our engagement pictures.
Yeah. If you really look close at our engagement, so we're going to use Grey Loft Studio, and we're going to do the engagement pictures, which actually that's like one of the first things we did then, because I don't know if that came before.
Yeah, because we had a meeting with Grey Loft, and we were kind of explaining what we were doing, basically, like the whole wedding thing and whatnot. And then they started asking us, well, like, what kind of pictures would you want?
And what was our answer?
But again, we knew what we didn't want, which was the typical wedding pictures. Like, we wanted everything to be unique, I guess.
Well,
that
just
would be
us,
the word.
just more authentic, just more reactionary.
So then Bethany suggested, she goes, well, for me to like get to know you better, which was the best idea, she said, how about we do an engagement shoot?
But we didn't be engaged by this point for
so long,
5 years.
and we never took
4
pictures.
years.
We never did anything. And so we were like, that's a great idea, because we never even got to an engagement shoot when it happened. And then like that, she would know how we are and things like, and it would make the day better, right? Like the wedding day better. And we thought that was a great idea.
And I think for us too, it was like,
to get to know
to know them,
yeah.
because that's a lot of trust and a lot of faith you're putting in somebody else. But guys, I'm telling you right now, if Bethany said, Joe, this is what we're going to do, get up at 4 a.m., you're going to wear this outfit, you're going to make sure that you're ready to go, you're going to have to climb the mountain, you're going to have to carry a goat, whatever she said, the answer's,
yes,
you got
Bethany.
it, Bethany. Because she knows. She just knows. So she was able to, now you got to remember, guys, our original shoot was in the summer.
Not the summer.
the fall. Yeah, because it was getting kind of cold, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't.
No, it was
cold.
definitely September.
It was getting chilly.
It was September.
But our real photo for our photos for our wedding, guys, going to be on January 1st in Ottawa.
Winter.
For those who don't know Ottawa, it might be the coldest place on earth.
Minus a million.
But so we warmed up getting to know each other in those shots, which were incredible. And the shots are beautiful. You guys can go back and check them out. But it gave us a comfort level. So I knew that going into this, outside of like giving them some ideas of what we wanted when it came to family shots and stuff like that, I'm like, we'll just shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just go. And knowing full well it was going to be stunning, and she was going to have 80% better ideas than I could ever come up with anyways, which I don't say about anybody. So, incredible. So, we met with her. We're going to get to the day eventually. And then what?
And then was Chef.
Then Chef David. Now, I adore Chef David. And you know what else I adore about Chef David?
He gave me bananas?
He gave Anna bananas. And he's not a social media guy. He's in the world of influencers, which I absolutely detest. When we both found out we hated the word influencer, and he could talk to, I think sometimes people in all disciplines, they're a little careful with how you interact. I mean, I tend to be careful with how I interact with people. But as soon as I made my first sarcastic joke, as soon as it was like best friends. Absolute. And then again, with him, he gave us all this brilliant food, and he's like, what do you guys want? I said, Jeff,
whatever you want to make.
Honey, whatever is great in your head.
Yes, and it was also great because, and he also said this, when caterers or chefs or, whoever gets hired to do wedding food, it's usually something typical that not that it's always been done, but because obviously people can make different versions of that, but it's different versions of that. And he was actually very excited and looking forward to the fact that we didn't say that that's what we wanted, and we just said, like, this is a you thing, and if you want to play around and come up with different things or whatever, like, we are totally cool with that. And so he was like, it was great because, like, I could explore things and try different things and put a really cool menu together that didn't necessarily have to follow what your typical wedding meals would be.
I just knew what I didn't want, and I didn't want the same meal I've been eating at prom for the past 23 years. And many, many weddings. You guys know the meal I'm talking about. Chicken, potato, vegetable. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be, and because it was a smaller wedding, nobody had to decide before. So you came to the wedding, and we'll talk about that eventually, but you came to the wedding and you got to decide in the moment. Now, not only did he was incredible, we tried all the food, it was fantastic, but again, he loves what he does.
And also need to add, yes, he had like the main, what he was going to serve to most of the people, but they also had different versions for every single person in the room. So like, I have a friend who can't eat gluten and she can't eat dairy either.
We tell her to bring her own food usually, just so you know.
And instead of her just picking a meal and not being able to eat dessert, because obviously dessert is made with dairy most of the time, they made sure that she could eat all three, so like salad, main, and dessert, to her dietary restrictions. And now I'm only speaking of her because she had multiple dietary restrictions, but like everybody in the room that said that they had certain dietary restrictions were taken care of.
But perfectly, like, not taken care of, like, here's a really crappy, boring option. You're going to still, the same thing, I am just going to make sure I substitute something else. Like, Anna had dessert with chocolate. Really dark chocolate with all of these beautiful fruits, and every single thing they did was natural sugars.
And they used monk fruit to replace the sugar. So my dessert actually had no refined sugar at all.
That was Chef
whatsoever.
Chef Jin.
Yes, Chef Jin.
Pastry chef.
Mm-hmm.
Like incredible.
But like, she also made
incredible.
a gluten-free version of that. She also made a dairy-free version of it, and everybody had the same option of dessert, just catered to you.
To them.
Which, when have you ever heard of that? Never.
Like, I know that it helps because our wedding was smaller. Like, so you could do those kinds of things. But, guys, again, when the care that they took with the food and the care that they took with us to make sure, I mean, my only one caveat was there'll be no cinnamon in the vicinity. But it was that, right? It was that when like, we have kids. What do we do about that? He's like, oh, I'll just give them the kids menu. They can pick whatever they want. We don't want to mess with kids. They're going to need a chicken finger of some sort. And he's I also want to say this. Zero pretense. You think this castle would come with it a level of pretentious kind of above everybody, you know what I mean? Like that's the vibe. It's a beautiful hotel. A lot of very important people spend time there. And there was nothing fake or pretentious or put on by a single soul I met. Not a one. Because if I would have felt that, I would have been out. I would have been like, no thanks. This isn't a good time for me. And it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so we met. So we did the photography. Oh, we're not even dressed yet.
True.
So what do you want to do? You want to do your dress first?
Sure. Well, my dress was kind of like, because we decided to do this when we actually made the decision. It was August, right?
Yep.
What's wrong?
Because it wasn't a lot of time. Yeah.
Right. So August to January, that's not enough time to pick a wedding dress, get it altered, and have it ready by that time. So that's why we were freaking out a little bit.
Well,
because
the whole time was like, I'll just get it off Amazon.
Well, because here's the thing. It's like our original plan was to go to City Hall. So this whole time I'm like, no, I'll just get like a nice little summer white dress and it'll be cute and whatever. And then we start planning this whole thing, and then you start realizing like, well, I can't really do that anymore. Now we have to like get serious about it. But it was like, we had to figure it out. And so Catherine
Revell Bridal
figures it out. Revell Bridal said, we got you. We're going to do it. And so we walked in, and I had an idea of what I kind of wanted it to look like, not really knowing if it was going to be able to happen in the amount of time that we needed it to happen. And then I try on a bunch of dresses. One of them had the potential. Like, one of them was started off being it. And I was like, if I could get it like this and like that and whatever, like, this is it. And we bought it right then and there.
That's right. And then we had to go get it, altered, because Anna just has an idea in her head. She doesn't. So, and again, they were incredible with her.
And they were great about it. And they even said, here's like all the extra
numbers,
materials. Here's who you can call like close to home.
Because we couldn't really do that part in Ottawa because
I had to try it on multiple times. And
so we had to find somebody here. She'll get to that company in a second.
That was my dress. So Revell Bridal pulled through.
And then I tried on a bunch of dresses because I thought, and
that was funny too.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
And still half the internet thinks I was going to wear a dress. And then on to my suit. So Catherine had told me, Joanna, I know who's going to do your suit. It's a gentleman named Frank Sukkoo. He does all of the designer stuff for all of the incredible galas and everything that goes on in Ottawa. And then I said, okay, but you got to know, like, for me, clothes for me, now I know what I want. Like, this isn't out of my wheelhouse. This isn't something, and I was kind of nervous. I've never met Frank at that point. And I'm just like, I'm real picky about cut and style and stuff like that, about what I want. And I'm going to go into this gentleman who I've never met before. And I need somebody to be in my head too, because even though I know what I want, I'm probably not great at really describing it. I'm not a designer. So we walk into this place and he barely says anything. and he just puts over these 3 sketches. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I walk in and I look down and I'm like, and I look at her and
And you're just like, yes.
this is what's in my head.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. There were subtle differences between each sketch, just a subtle, like, different flair to the pant or length of the jacket or type of button. But I'm like, right down to the kind of color that I wanted.
No. So here's the thing. Yes, those 3 sketches were exactly like what you wanted and all that. But the collar came next because at some point we were filming content in there. And you were like, oh, I need to try like a bunch of stuff on, because he also had like all the other stuff that he had previously made for like all these other events. And so Joe's trying things on or whatever. And then we get to this one jacket and you put that jacket on.
Collar.
And the collar came here, and I can't even explain it. It's basically the collar that Joe has on in her suit. So like you can go check out those pictures. And we were like, that sketch, that collar.
Guys.
And he just made it happen.
And not only that, but I think Frank might be the funniest person on the planet, who also took into account throughout this entire thing. I was very... the only thing that was heavy was the fact that my grandma was going to be there. So I was thinking about her a lot. And as soon as he found that out, this man tried to make sure that he, right down to something he surprised me with at the end, he tried to make sure that the fabrics I chose, because I have a black suit, but the fabric I chose for the interior lining and for the sort of the seams, he's like, let's have this represent a bit of her. Mm-hmm. And he brought out 2 fabrics, and I swear to God, one of them I'm like, that's my grandma. Mm-hmm. That's my grandma. That's, if my grandma could have chosen an outfit, it would have had that in it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, that's the one I wanted to pick. And the care he took with that, the jokes, again, the man loves what he does. Mm-hmm. And he just wanted to make sure everything was perfect and everything was taken care of every step of the way. He did say, I have a very big butt, though. So there is that.
Well, he's not
like,
wrong.
Whoa.
It's funny because he went like this, and he measured,
hips,
and he goes, you have... big hips, and then tiny waist, and then a big
bust. Whoa,
bust.
Big bust. I'm like, Frank! Incredible human, incredible designer. Mm-hmm. And I've had so many people reach out to me and be like, I'm going to need that designer name right now.
And even because he came to our wedding, and even his outfit,
pants. I want his pants.
Everyone was like, those are the best
this
pants.
Guy?
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, so we have all of that said and done. Now where are we at? Now we start putting on different details. So we need a DJ.
Oh, hair and makeup. That's not true.
Oh my God, hair and makeup.
Yeah.
Because we used the same hair and makeup for our shoot, mm-hmm. which again made me comfortable, because you guys have to know, I don't want to wear makeup, and I don't want anybody touching my hair.
And that was another thing where it was like, how about we do a test run?
That's right.
For the
But Catherine was
engagement.
Catherine's like, it's Fiorella. Mm-hmm. You know? That's who it is.
Yep.
She's like, we'll do the test run, but that's who it is.
Yeah.
And so she connected with them, brought them, and again, fell in love. Like, Fiorella is amazing. She tried to even do a bit of a cleanup for me on my fade because it wasn't perfect. She goes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna, she's an incredible hairstylist.
Oh my gosh, I say it all the time. Like, she somehow turns my hair into a paid actor every time.
It's insane.
I don't even know what she does, how she does it. It's just magic. Bippity boppity boo.
And it's funny because she's like, okay, so I'm gonna do your hair. I'm like, I don't let people touch my hair, Fiorella. And she's like, okay, fair enough. However, what about, and she brought me a different product. I want you to try this because I think this is gonna work for you better. Guys, again, I need to shut the hell up. These people have it on lock, but Mina, you gotta know, she loves getting makeup done. She loves getting her hair done. Like, she was in seventh heaven. For me, getting my makeup done, I was like, oh, this is not good.
And Mina's also so funny.
So funny. So funny.
Like
and
secretly funny. Like all of a sudden
quietly funny.
That's what I meant. Like quietly funny. Like all of a sudden something's happening and then boom, she says something and you're like, you weren't expecting it.
So amazing and so great at what she did.
Mm-hmm.
Like she made, you gotta know, it's not like it's just, I never wear makeup. So if we go from never to enough makeup that it looks good at for a photo shoot or an event, that's a big jump for me. But she was very easy with me. She's still talking about the oil I need for my lips because apparently they're not hydrated nearly enough. But she was very soft. She's like, listen, I'm gonna make you look like you. I'm not trying to change who you are. She was very complimentary. I just want to make it a little bit bolder so that on that camera you see it. That's the point. The point isn't to change you. It's to make you stand out a little bit more for that.
Because lights wash you out.
And I shut up. And guys, there's a lot of times in my life when I've never shut up. And they were incredible. So they did that, and then they came back for the wedding. So all of these things too.
Twice, hair looked amazing. Yes. Makeup looked amazing. And it was not, I don't know for you, but for me, I had two different kinds of makeup because the first time I was wearing yellow and the colors were more like on the yellow side. And so she kind of did like a gold, bronzy, orangey thing on my eyes. And she's like, listen, I'm just matching it to your eyes. And she was so complimentary about my eyes. She's like, you have the prettiest eyes ever. And so she's like working with the features that I have. And then for the wedding, she did the same thing. She worked with the features that I already had, but with a different color because now we went obviously pink and gold instead of like orangey and gold, but still kind of in the same family. Anyways, I just thought it was great the way that she picked color and style and everything because I also didn't tell her how she should, do her job. I'm like, however you think my face would look good, do that. And so it's just, she works with your features, not with
the standard.
Yeah.
Again, it's about just like moving with what the person wants, who they are, and what they need, which is incredible. And because we had them for the photo shoot, going into the wedding, I'm like,
and just so you know, we got hair and makeup done for our engagement shoot, and it was super, super windy that day, like hair blowing all over the place. True. And when you have wind in your face, like your eyes get watery or whatever, nothing got ruined. Hair stayed in place. Makeup stayed in place.
Go look at the pictures, guys. It was a hurricane at some point those days.
We never needed a touch-up during the actual shoot. And then for our actual wedding, we got hair and makeup done at 10 a.m. and we didn't get touch-ups again, which, by the way, we didn't even need a lot of it. It was just like,
I'll tell you, the only reason I needed because she snotted on my face.
It was cold.
And then she kept kissing me, wiping my own lipstick off.
And that was the only touch-ups that were needed because everything else held. So their hair and makeup will hold from 10 a.m. to...
And we never sat down.
11:30 when we left.
It was wild. And then I tried to wash it off, which I'm going to tell you about afterwards, guys.
Anyways,
I rubbed
she did.
my whole identity off my face.
But I'm just saying, like, usually you have to get touch-ups, you have to get this, you have to get constantly.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Okay, so now where are we? Music?
We didn't get to music until literally last week.
Photo booth?
We didn't get photo booth until last week
either.
Okay,
we'll come there in a second. We'll come to the photo booth because the photo booth, fantastic, guys.
So
you're going to have a wedding, you're going to have a photo booth, period. Okay, what else? What else are we missing then?
Well, I did alterations. And
go ahead. Tell us about your alterations.
So when I have a picture in my head, it's hard for me to take it out and just like go with whatever. So I went to Tanis Emmett Wedding Style here in Pickering, actually, because of the fact that I couldn't keep going back and forth to Ottawa as many times as it would have needed. And I walk in and I put on the dress and I tell them exactly what it is that I want. And they were like, yeah, absolutely. Like there was
That was it.
There was no point ever where they were like, oh, we can't actually do that or whatever. They were actually excited. They were like, brides usually come in here and it's mostly just alterations to make it fit, but like most of the dress is already done, so what we do is just alterations. But the fact that you're actually getting this customized is so fun for us. And I had like two main seamstresses working on it, and then 2 others that would walk in and make sure that everything was working and all right. But like, it was like a team of people being super excited about this dress. Now, when I originally got the dress didn't have a bow on it. Revell Bridal gave me the extra material for these people to make the bow.
Was a bow this big?
It was so big. It had to be on my dress. There was no way that I was going to get married without a bow on my dress. They made the bow. They made it happen. They were actually able to make it stand because they were worried that it would just kind of droop the whole night. They were able to make it stand. They pinned it in the right spots. Like, everything that I wanted.
Yeah, there was like invisible buttons.
Yeah. Everything that I wanted,
it's magic.
They did it. And it was truly like, I was breathtaken. I was breathtaken.
Her breath was taken. Mostly her breath was taken because they stitched her into it and she couldn't exhale because they kept saying to her, yeah, but you're going to sweat that night, so we got to do it tight. So
it has to start up tight, so it's going to loosen, and it was the tightest thing ever, but it actually wasn't. It was totally fine. But again, the same thing that Joe kept saying, the first time when I first got there, it was not that it was awkward, but you know how it is the first time that you meet someone, you're like, well, I kind of want this, and you're just trying to explain it. But after, I don't know, like 20 minutes of being in there, everyone's just joking around, having a good time. And it was
people
like,
you just
became friends out of nowhere. Like, it was
absolutely
very
incredible.
Professional, very, amazing at what they do, but also like so fun.
At some point in here, Canadian Tire, who I've just done fun things with because I like Canadian Tire, said, listen, how about your gift bags? How about we think about something from Canadian Tire? I'm like, this is the best idea ever. They're like, just go wander and see what you think, guys. I'm going to show you one thing right now. It was and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I want it. Look at this.
I got it.
They gave a tiny little toolbox. This is heavy duty. And they gave us all the colors. We got all of the colors.
There was black, there was pink, there was red, there was green, there was blue, there's purple.
There will be videos of this so you can see all the different things that was in this container, because then they also gave us this cute little screwdriver and Frank's Candy, which I love Frank's Candy because I make jokes about that brand. Frank's as a Canadian Tire brand is incredible. And then
Loud Cup,
and I did a TikTok about it with this incredible company, and the story behind Loud Cup and why he did it and how he did it and how it was so incredibly meaningful. This idea of a connection between a parent and their kid and wanting to be supportive of them and wanting to be able to make this kind of connection with their kid while they're working with, while they're doing whatever athletic thing that they're doing. Again, authentic. You can go back and see that TikTok of when we spoke to them. And then we got a card game, which was all about your feelings and all about sort of getting deeper into in the water, getting deeper into who you are and why you are, which is all everything that we do. And then Tim Hortons.
Yeah, so I do a lot of events with Tim Hortons. Crazy. And I hang out with Tim Hortons all the time. And so then we partnered with them too, because I told them that we had this idea of having a wall just full of hats.
So when you found your seat, you took a hat, and they gave us I wonder, is the hat over there or no? It's upstairs. I think it's upstairs. They gave us, you'll see it all in the video. Two different styles
of Tim Hortons hats, and so they were featured in our wedding, which was super cool because it was this huge wall, and on one side was one kind of hat, on the other side was the other kind of hat, and then where you were sitting, like the table numbers and stuff was all in the middle, and it looked amazing.
Catherine, by the way, don't think Catherine's not working every single moment to facilitate. Then she got these monogram bags, these beautiful bag that fit everything. These tote bags with our
labeled with unpacked 26, which is like our thing because unlearn 16 and pack and just thought of everything. We didn't think of that. That didn't come from our brain.
No, guys,
not at all. Our brain.
And then we're at this point.
And so beautifully wrapped too, and just...
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah. Everything was perfect. But before we even get to that, kind of right before, I said, you know what? And literally, it's just like, I just call Catherine and say, can you make magic happen? I said, I'd really like to take Anna in a Cadillac.
And jump in the Cadillac.
This was, I don't know, a few weeks before the wedding. And she goes, I got it. I'll make some calls. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out who we can do, where, how you, and she figured out it all so I could surprise her with the Cadillac Mystic. Everybody thinks I purchased it. I did not purchase it. We just got it for the weekend. I did not buy her $100,000 car.
It had blue leather.
It was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But the surprise and for it being her dream car and being able to take that was incredible. And by the way, it's at this moment, I would say maybe a week before our wedding, I haven't learned to dance yet.
Yes, so Joe and I, we have very different schedules. She's a school teacher, so she works a normal time. And I'm a dance teacher, so I work the evening time because all the kids are at school. So by the time that she's getting home, it's like we cross each other on the 401, getting to where we're going. And so we're never off at the same time.
Very rarely. Very rarely. So literally, she's like, okay, I need to choreograph something for us.
Let me tell you, it is December 29th.
That's when it was?
That's when we decided to start dancing.
I could throw up just thinking about it. Because this is the only thing about the wedding that made me want to vomit. Like, because I don't dance. I'm not good. And Anna's like, okay, but let me just we're just going to do a minute. Like, literally 60 seconds. We're going to do it. We decided that the father-daughter dance, we're going to do it at the beginning of that same song. They are going to, within a minute of that song, they are going to let us go and we are going to meet each other and we are going to dance and then we're going to invite everybody onto the dance floor. Because we wanted it all happening at the same time.
Yeah, but that part though was like a last minute decision that we did.
All of this I felt last minute.
Yeah, because we had planned to do a different song with the father-daughter dance situation. But I wanted to be able to, once the dance floor is open, I wanted it to be open for everyone. I didn't want to have to
sit down and start again.
I didn't want to have to kick people out to then have them come back. And no. I was like, once it's open, it's open. So that's when you came up. Actually, it was Joe's idea. She came up with, let's just do the first part of the dance, father-daughter dance, and then spin into.
When you see the video, you'll see I left the father-daughter part early. I was supposed to leave it at the end of the chorus. I left it at the beginning. I was overwhelmed, very stressed out.
And so I had to say, Joe,
you're way too early. Dance with me for a second.
I just said, dance with me for a minute. Let's just hold it
just
here.
a regular dance.
And then we'll
Anna, the dance teacher, stepped in. And then we did that. And then, again, she's like, okay, we're going to do a minute. I'm like, well, maybe we should do like 2 minutes. A minute seems quick,
Here's the reason why. So we were having a meeting with the DJ as well as the photographers. And the photographers were like, we just need enough time to capture pictures. And on top of that, video so that you have something. And sometimes people just dance for like 30 seconds and it's just not enough. And so we wanted to make sure that we gave them enough time to do what they needed to do and us not be choreographed for so long. So we kind of went 1 minute this part and then 1 minute that part.
Well, I thought we should do longer.
And this one
I'm like, we should do like 2 minutes choreographed. And then she tried to teach it to me. I said, 1 minute's totally fine.
No. So here's how the conversation went. There's one section of the song that Joe really, really loves. And she wanted that to be captured between just me and her, like her singing that part to me. But that didn't come until like so far deep into the song. It's deep in, close to the end. And so I said, I don't think that's going to be possible because I'm like, I know that you can do 1 minute of this. I know how to like elongate it. 1 minute is plenty.
Joe can handle 1 minute. I only had from December 29th.
And also, this is what I do for a living. Like, I know what it takes to teach something to whatever. I know what I'm doing.
Is what she was going to say.
No. I know what takes time and what is possible within what we're doing. And Joe was like, it's fine. We can do 2 minutes. Just teach me something for 2 minutes. And I go, I don't think so. But if you want me to, I'm going to show you how long 2 minutes actually is. And so I'm pressing play and I got, this is what we have so far, which at the time I had only taught her like 20 seconds. So we still had 40 to go. And then I go, now let this song play up until that moment that you want. And it was like 2 minutes later. And then she went, okay, that's you're right. Let's just do what you said.
Don't be ridiculous. That's too long.
But you got it. You made it work.
Well, you'll see the video. I ended up having me turn the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. It all worked out.
It all worked out fine. She just wanted the dip to be facing the other way. But
I think everybody caught the dip.
I knew it was going to happen the other way around, but I was like, I can fix this because I'm a professional dancer, but I didn't want to throw her off and then her to panic. So I was like, we're just going to do the dip facing the other way. I'm not going to risk it.
I just hope the photographers got it. Hopefully. But it's probably better because your face was facing everybody for the most part, and my face was probably more panicked looking, whereas her face was calm and smiles and... You know, she was talking to me under her breath kind of thing about slow down, don't go too fast. So anyway,
but it was beautiful and everybody was cheering.
And they sang the song. It was awesome.
You did really good, Bubba.
But
it's so funny.
I thought I was going to have a pass out.
It's really funny because we're completely opposite. Like, we're different on everything. Absolutely anything that you can think of, we're going to think the opposite of it. And the whole time, I'm panicking about my vows because I'm not a public speaker. I don't like talking in front of people. Wait till you hear her vows. And, like, I can tap dance. Ask me to dance in front of all those people. Easy peasy. Talk? I was so worried. Like, and that's what she does. That's her thing. She's always talking in front of people, or even if there's nobody around, she's still talking. And so the whole time I'm panicking about the vows and she's panicking about the dance, and I'm totally fine about the dance.
It's hilarious. But she did great in her vows, just so you know. Way better. She did way better in her vows than I did in the dance. Like, if we're taking
that's not true.
Totally, you're amazing.
I don't even cry. And the first sentence, which I thought was going to be the funniest, I couldn't.
She couldn't deliver the line. Do you want to deliver it to them now?
I couldn't even get it out because I started crying and my voice.
Tell them what you wanted to say.
I wanted to say this one time, which is funny because that's how I start all my stories, and Joe actually has it tattooed right here.
It's true.
So I thought it would be funny to start my vows with this one time.
Then she started to cry.
And then I just started
this
crying.
One time, cry. But tell them what you wanted to say.
I wanted to say this one time when I was little, I told my mom that I was going to marry someone with spiky hair. And here you are with spiky hair. And it's like I manifested you. Like, now, I'm pretty sure I manifested you.
I could kind of hear that. I don't know how much. Now, we were mic'd, so I think the video might have picked that up. Yeah. But, like, my mom didn't quite hear that.
My mom didn't hear
that.
It.
So we'll see what gets picked. But now you guys know what she actually said when you hear her crying at the beginning of the speech.
And then I had to write down my vows because there was no way that I was going to come up with something on the spot like this one can.
I didn't come up, it's not like I came up with it on the spot. I just had an idea of what was important and what I wanted to say. It's the way I do most things. There was 3 things I wanted to talk about. And the third thing was really about the way that we dance, the way that she taught me this dance, which obviously happened after December 29th.
By the way, we got married January 1st. That's why I'm saying December 29th, 30th. We didn't do anything on the 31st because that was a crazy day. So we really only practiced 2 days.
My God, what a terrifying. Listen, and before we're at the wedding, we still have to decide on a few more things. So we get the car, we have to decide on a DJ. Now, the DJ, Jamie, and again, his tags will be all
Midnight Music, Jamie C, DJ Jamie C.
My friends are real hard on DJs. I want to be the lesbian side of my family, real tough on the DJ. They think they're connoisseurs. They think they know best. And probably more so than almost anything, they're just like, this guy was brilliant. Mm-hmm. It really was. He was a perfect, you got to also know, it's like this one over here says, oh, hey, Jamie, can you play? Go ahead.
Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift,
and I'm over here going, can you play New Kids on the Block, Melissa Etheridge, Amanda Marshall, Cher, the complete opposite, right? Hold On by Wilson Phillips, like complete opposite. And we think he's going to be just like, what is going on here? He's like, yeah, no, I got it.
He was like, this is great.
And he did a perfect job. We also had a photo booth at the wedding, which get one.
MD,
I just want to get one for the house.
MDRN Photo Booth Company.
Insane. They're all over the place, but this one was obviously Ottawa specific.
And not to mention, like, they even, again, spearheaded by Catherine.
Catherine.
Yeah, you know how your, like, pictures come out, you have 3 pictures, but at the top, everything was labeled with Unpacked 26, Anna and Joanna, January 1st. Like, just, like, perfect. What more could you ask for? And it was nothing. So fun. You could text them to yourself, you could print them, you could, all of it.
So, as we get to the actual day, before that actual day, by the way, we do a photo shoot on the roof of the Chateau Laurier. Again, no one's done it. It is January 1st.
It is minus 100. No, but it's funny though, because when you look at the temperature, it says, it's minus 17. And then you keep reading. Feels like minus 32.
Feels like frostbite. So we had to get to the roof. And there's a video, guys, you'll see, see the video. We had to get to the roof. We had to get to the roof and keep her dress clean.
Because I'm wearing a white dress.
We had to get to the roof without anybody falling. We had to get to a roof that had snow and ice. Bruno, masterful. We had to get to a roof and then get it done. There's drone shots, there's photography, there's videography, all within a very short amount of time, because otherwise, parts were going to start falling off.
My dress doesn't have a front part of it. It's short in the front and long in the back. So my legs,
a mullet.
my legs are bare. My top is just a sweetheart top. No nothing on my shoulders. No nothing on my back.
She was freezing. And I just got a fresh fade, so I had a bald head.
And she wasn't wearing a shirt.
Well, I had a jacket on. Don't be saying that.
Anyways, it was really cold. But
we also went outside to take other pictures.
Yes.
Where our photography was done for our engagement shot. She wanted a marriage
to get a picture of the chateau, the castle in the back. Which again, 10 out of 10. Like she knows exactly what she's doing. The pictures turn out amazing. It's just really cold.
I don't think
the room that we stayed. Sorry, go ahead.
We haven't talked about the rings.
The rings, yeah.
My God, I'm going to show you the rings in a second. The room we stayed in was incredible. Again, there's a video of that. I think it was the Haze Suite. Am I getting that wrong? I could be getting that wrong. When we went to go get our rings, again, all of this was trusting Catherine. Catherine said, I got the place. And I'm like, really? Because we have no idea. And it's all local businesses. True Bijoux, which was connected to Howard's jewelry store, and Howard's has been around forever and has a very close relationship with the Canadian Mint. So all of the metal that they use is recycled metal from the Canadian Mint. So I'm in right away, right? And we're gonna go there. And you gotta know that, again, I don't know what I want. I think, did you know before we even went what you wanted?
Well, no, because originally, this is a ring from Pandora, but originally...
You're going to tell everybody I bought you a ring from Pandora. Guys, she didn't want anything else.
No, this is what I was about to say.
That's
like,
what she
this
wanted.
Is what I just wanted, a thick ring that the jewels go all the way around, because all I had been seeing was this part at the back was always just like ring. It didn't have the jewels. And then when I saw it, I was like, no, this is exactly what I want. So originally that was going to be my ring.
So we walk in there, and you got to know that True Bijoux isn't like a typical jewelry store, because they have a lot of vintage pieces. So and Anna leans over, she's like, oh great, you like anything that's old, don't you, Joe? Like, just get the old thing. And in my head, I still didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know if it was something I just had to see. But then they looked at us and they're like, no,
we can make it.
We're going to make whatever's in your head. What? What do you mean? And so if you go back, you can see a bit of the process. This process of, we came up with the idea of what we wanted. They had computer generated molds. They created a wax mold. They created the ring. We tried it on, and then they finished it. Like, it is all 100 from 0 to 6, like 100% handcrafted.
And we also, again, because Lindsay was so awesome and knew exactly.
Ask for Lindsay. Go into True Bijoux and say, give me Lindsay.
knew exactly what she was talking about. Like, it's another trust thing where it's like, we go in, we don't know what's happening, but
we know
they make you feel so comfortable because they know what they're doing, that it was like, we didn't see our rings until the night before our wedding.
The night before our wedding, guys. The night before. So
that's not true. We saw our rings the morning of the wedding.
Oh, the morning of. I don't even think we saw them the night before.
No, we saw them the morning of.
When I went in, I had an idea because I'm not a big diamond person, but I am a big superhero fan. And I love the idea of different colors. And for me, I made a joke about Thanos's Infinity Stones, or the Infinity Stones, and what the Infinity Stones meant. And I'm going on and on, guys. Anna's there, Catherine's there, Lindsay's there. They're all sitting listening to me. Nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. Guys, you guys know what I'm talking about? The Infinity Stones, or you snap? And they're like, no, we don't. But I can get you the stones. Nobody got it. But they all had meaning, right? Like the time stone and the space stone. Anyways, I'm not going to ramble on, but that's what I wanted. And I wanted just slivers of them. I just wanted pieces. I didn't want something bulky because I don't want to take it off. So she embedded 6 Infinity Stones into my ring, so it is flush, because it's what I wanted. On the inside of the ring, you won't see this on the camera, there's actually an embedded diamond as well, so it is flush, so it represents Anna and I. And this is what this beautiful thing looks like. Look at that. Oh wow, that's picking it up gorgeous. Look at that. Just absolutely beautiful. And I saw that the morning of, guys. The morning of. And I slid it on my finger. And again, as I throw it away. It is the perfect thickness. It is like everything about it, even the history of the Canadian Mint is born right into this ring. And she knew it. She knew exactly what I was going to want. And then
once she said,
I can do whatever you want.
We can customize it. We can do whatever you want. I was like, I know what I want. So 2 Christmases ago, or 3 Christmases now, Joe got me a thick Anna ring that I had always wanted.
It said Anna, so it's...
Yeah. And when we opened it, we saw that that N was backwards, and we didn't know like how that happened. But way early on in our relationship, Joe grabbed one of her shoes and wrote Anna on it, like underneath, the same way that Andy does it in Toy Story. And Andy's N was backwards on when he spelled his name. Yeah. And so Joe did the same thing. So the N of Anna was backwards.
And on the jewelry was...
on her shoe. And she did that early on in our relationship. And so when I saw that ring, I went, it's meant to be. Like, this was...
Yeah, it was supposed to be like that. That's not how I ordered it.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, this should be my wedding ring, which I don't know if this is flipped or not.
No, you're going to see it normal.
So it looks like...
You're going to see it normal, but that's because this is inverted. Oh, no, is that not normal?
I'm confused as to...
I think you'll see it normal.
Some of the cameras get flipped, some of the cameras don't. But the N, you're just going to have to trust me on it. The N is backwards, mimicking when Joe wrote Anna on the bottom of her shoe.
So we said we want it backwards on this ring, and then they just...
And they did it. They made the mold just like they made it for Joe.
The whole thing out of diamonds.
And diamonds, and this is white gold. Right?
Yep. So, guys, so we get married. You got to know the ceremony very short. Very, very short.
Ryan! We got to talk about Ryan.
We asked Ryan, because again, people are like, well, who do you want to marry you? And I said, well, I want somebody I know. And... obviously, there was an officiant and notary that was there in order to make sure all of the legal boxes were checked. But I don't like the idea of standing up with a stranger. And so, of course, Ryan Seeley is the guy.
Yeah, can I just say something before we talk about Ryan? Because I want to give him his moment. But getting the papers to get married was wild because I didn't know anything. So obviously I'm going to chat GPT it, and I'm asking like, how do I do this? And so they tell me, well, first you have to get an application. You don't just get the license right away. You have to apply for it. So I'm like, amazing. Where does one get an application? And the thing goes, go to your Service Ontario. Amazing. I go to Service Ontario. I grab a number. I wait there because you have to wait. Finally, I walk up and I'm like, can I please get a wedding application? And they look at me and they go, we don't have that here. And I was like, no, you do. ChatGPT told me that you have this here.
ChatGPT was wrong, guys.
And she's like, I don't know what to tell you. We don't have any of those papers. So we don't have it. You actually have to go to City Hall and get it. And I was like, okay. So I leave and I drive to City Hall and I'm like, hey, I need an application, please, for a marriage license. And they go, yeah, we don't do that here either. And I was like, no, you do, because ChatGPT told me it was at Service Ontario, and then Service Ontario told me that it was here. And she goes, yeah, no, we don't do that. You have to go
Everybody's wrong in this process.
You have to go do it online. So I've been running around all morning, first of all, waiting, because you have to wait.
Well, you also can't get a license too far ahead of time.
True.
So you have to wait to that 3-week-ish window, which made it feel all the more stressful.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, now I'm not going to get these papers.
Yeah.
So then, anyways, I get home and we have to fill all this information out, and I'm trying to get everybody's information. It was wild.
Like where my mom was born, like weird
just
stuff.
Crazy. Anyways, finally, I do get it all done, and then I go, and I'm thinking again, it's going to be this process, but then I get there and I'm like, hi, so I filled this out. And then they just handed it to
That was it. Very anticlimactic. So we choose Ryan, and you will see again in the video how incredible he was, how he spoke about who we are and what marriage means. And the ceremony wasn't long. Limited.
Very short.
You'll never see the kids, guys. I apologize. You're never going to see the kids in any video because, in all fairness, they were the stars. I'll describe it.
Yeah.
I'll describe it for you, but we won't show them on camera.
And we won't say their names either.
No.
So,
well, I will say No Joe. So, No Joe walks down the aisle first, and in the middle of the aisle is a boombox. He walks down the aisle with all the confidence of 1,000 men. I swear to God. He picks up the boombox. He walks to me. He hands it to me. Gives me a bit of a nod. I don't know if you saw it. Gives me a bit
I couldn't see anything.
I press play, but I press play, but then the music comes over and I hold the boombox. Say Anything style above my head. And at that moment, should we say the song that we played?
I don't know, because at this time the video isn't even out, so I don't even know if we should be telling them how this whole
but they're
thing
never
works.
going to see this part. Nobody's ever going to see this part.
Oh, true. I guess. All
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
don't say the song.
A
just
fun
say what
song
happens.
plays.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fun song. It's not the wedding march. It's a fun song. Anna chose it. And I loved it. And she really wanted people to dance down that aisle.
Yeah, because I don't love when things are serious and slow. We're celebrating, like we're getting married. I needed the energy to be here. So I said, nobody's walking down this aisle. We're all dancing. And if you don't think you can dance down the aisle, don't do it. But if you're going to do it, you're dancing. So our nephews start.
No Joe. And then our nephews. One of them dances backwards like freaking Michael Jackson. Moonwalking up the aisle. And the other one's full swing, dances
their best
life. Like, because you're nervous when you put that on kids. It could go one of two ways, guys. But I'm not going to... They delivered, and then they go sit down because they're going to have a secondary part in the wedding. And then a friend of ours.
No, then it's my mom and my brother.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then they again
danced down the aisle.
I didn't think that my brother would, but he did.
He did.
So,
he did.
Yeah.
And then our friend's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Our flower girl.
Guys, when I say she stole the show, I'm not lying.
She did.
She had a friggin'
her
routine.
Moment. It was her moment, and she
you
took
could tell,
it.
Little trepidatious stepping out the gate, and then all of a sudden she got some hoots. And this kid twirled, footwork, the whole 9 yards.
And her mom said that she had been practicing.
Guys.
So proud of her.
Like, beyond. And
so
then she sits down, and Anna and her dad dance down the aisle, which was incredible. Before I walked, because I walked down before the music, obviously, there was no oxygen in that part of the chateau. So I don't know if we should give a memo to Catherine and say that room, that holding space before I walked down the aisle, there was no air, no oxygen. I couldn't breathe. And no Joe over there saying, what do you mean? Well, of course, there's lots of it. You're fine. Take a breath, he says. Take a breath. Anyways, so it went beautifully. Our vows were beautiful. You'll see the video where there's a perfectly timed little bit of a, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to see the video. You're going to have to see the video. And then we roll into the reception. Well, we have like, there's pictures and stuff like that, a cocktail hour. And then we roll into the reception to, what's the song?
We're not going to
tell you that song. I'm sorry. But that song was a tribute to my grandma. Mm-hmm. So that song that I played then, that was for my grandma. And then the wedding song, the song we danced to, which I'm not going to tell you either because you're going to see that dance.
No.
What?
I just said, you said we're not going to tell you, and I said, no.
I got to pick that song. We agreed to it, but like...
So I picked the 2 songs for the ceremony, and Joe picked the 2 songs for the reception.
The only song you'll hear, the song we walk back down the aisle after we're married, all Anna. I'm going to need your rating on this song. And I didn't even hear it, to be honest.
And our first dance was all you, too.
Our first dance with me. But you love it. It's a nice song. Everybody loved it. Everybody sang the song we danced to. By the by. And then the whole night was great food, great dancing, incredible friends. My friends and our families were so awesome.
And you know what I like too is that my friends also mixed in.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like everybody just sat at their own table. No,
they had full on.
I think the open bar helped, but
full on conversations, full on deep conversations.
It was amazing.
Obviously during the reception, we have things that we need to do as well. Like people are giving speeches. By the way, everyone's speeches were amazing and heartfelt, and we're very thankful for the people who spoke.
Amy and Stacey had a Venn diagram of Anna and I, and I forgot it there. I wonder if they brought it with them.
I don't know, but
I'm gonna need them to replicate it.
But anyways, we had obviously things that we needed to do and stand in certain places at certain moments, but while still enjoying our night. And I think Michael made that possible because I never thought of like, oh shoot, I need to be here now. No, it was go live your best life, eat your food, have fun with your guests.
When I need you, I'll just come grab you.
Exactly.
And that was Michael and Wedecore. Mm-hmm. And the photography was such, like, it was clear, it was outlined, it was, all of that kind of thing. But Michael made the night magic because everything happened. Like, I have friends that are event planners, and they're like, the way they shifted the flowers from the actual ceremony to the venue and what they created in the venue, and they did it all when everybody was looking over here, and they did it all over here. And it's just like, I wasn't privy to any of it. And it was just like every once in a while, Michael would dance by and say, we got a speech in 2, go eat your dessert. Okay. And it was perfect. It was perfect. A lot of people talk about being stressed at their wedding, except for me dancing and that short time where there was no oxygen in the building. I didn't feel an ounce of stress or worry or anything but this incredible night and this incredible thing that we got to experience. Mm-hmm. So, I feel like we should kiss then, but that's just me. You didn't mean it? Oh, thank you. Anything else you would like to add, babe?
No, I'm just I want everybody to know how thankful we are for not only the people that we work with and everybody who wanted to be part of our day on that end, but also the people who showed up for us for the wedding.
And guys, showed up in Ottawa on January 1st. Like, most of those people showed up the night before. It's a 4-hour trek, from 4 or 5 hours, depending on where they were from. And it was just nothing but love and support and just a great time.
Oh, yes. And also, this was also in my thank you speech, but I'm going to re-say it again because
it's important. And we're going to end on this.
None of this would be possible at all whatsoever if Charlie, hadn't put TikTok on Joe's phone, and if Nick hadn't stolen my phone and put TikTok on my phone, because we would have never met.
And that's where it all begins. That's where it all begins. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you enjoy all the videos, and there's lots to come. So stay tuned. Stay aware on all of our platforms.
By the way,
16
neither of us have Facebook. So do not try to follow us on Facebook. We do not
The book
exist.
of the face is not, it's somebody faking to be me.
Yes, that is not us. So do not.
So come see me on TikTok, Unlearn16, Instagram, Unlearn16, Unlearn16 tweet on Twitter.
And I only have Instagram, Anna Pack Official, and TikTok, Anna_Pack.
We have blue check marks. That's it. That's all. Okay. We're going to, in this video, we're going to put everything, every person we talked about, because if you want to reach out for any reason, please, by all means, do so. They're incredible. And we're going to be doing some other things at the Chateau Laurier coming up very, very soon. So
stay tuned.
Thank you guys for coming on this journey with us. And now, since we're married, Anna's going to finish doing her laundry, and I'm going to take the dog out for a walk.
Peace out, homies.
See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Dismissed.